We're seeing you in this hilarious new film. How was Brannigan originally described to you?
Well, I read the script, so I understood who he is. He's a hard charging, greedy representation of what might be the worst parts of corporate America.
Was there anything you added to him then that wasn't in that initial breakdown? Or did you just go off of the incredible work that was already on the page?
Well, I added my height and weight to it specifically. Um, well, you hope by your being cast that fills out whatever may have been in the you know writer's head, and then I've been doing it long enough that I think that I add a certain surprise here or there, and that's your job as a comic. You don't you want somebody to not see something coming. Um, but specifically, I can't think. Nothing comes to mind that way. This film had such an odyssey in being made. We started in March of 2019, and then we're on hold for so many months. Then it looks like we were going to go, and then not, and then we'd film and then come back and film and come back. So we finally got it done. So that's as much a story of the filming as anything else. But yeah, it was fun. I'd not met Gary before, so he and I got to work together and got to know each other. Margot Bingham and I had worked on another movie a couple years before that, so it was great to reunite with an old friend. She cooked me dinner on my birthday, just so you know, that year, in Oklahoma, I think. Yeah, yeah. Um, let's see what else. Adam, I always like to work with new writers, directors, and here this we got a guy who wrote, directed, and starred in a movie, and it's a first for him for all three of those things. That's pretty impressive.
Did Adam allow much room to improv in those scenes, or was he strictly kind of by the script since, he or maybe he trusted you because you guys are so comedically talented?
Uh, yeah, when it was called for, when there's room for it. Plus, you got to remember you're in an independent picture, so you might not have that uh, the time to do things as much as you might like to, just because you've got a budget, and that has something to do with it. Um, this isn't a freewheeling comedy, so it's not like you're going to improvise every scene. Um, it's the plot's pretty tight, and so you might throw in a few lines here or there, but by and large wasn't a ton of improvisation. Huh?
But this is such a funny film. There's many, many moments of hilarity where you get those little giggle tears, I call them, because you're laughing so hard. Were there specific moments when you were filming that were your favorite to work on, or maybe ones that challenged you some?
Um, I guess in the car when that we had to have that cigar, that was a certain challenge because I don't smoke cigars, and so I can't remember if that was a particularly hot day. It may have been because I think we were in Oklahoma. So those things are a fun challenge, things you always remember. Um, it's always interesting because you're in an independent picture. You've got to cheat sometimes certain rooms and pretend it's maybe more grand than it actually is. Those are fun. Um, there's nothing that comes to mind necessarily like that. It's like this movie was shot literally over 3 years. So, it's kind of hard to remember what was, you
What
know,
was when and what
yeah,
where
yeah.
everything.
You literally stop for 6 months and then come back. So it's hard to reconnect that whole picture together.
Well, I think it's just going to be a fast fan favorite comedy. What do you think it is about this movie that you really hope lingers with the audience?
Um, well, I said this earlier today. We can all have a reckoning, and it can have a good outcome or a bad outcome. And that's up to you whether or not you want to learn your lesson.
That's a very poignant and very proper thing to take away from this movie. I really think that's a great lesson, and I can see where people are going to really cherish this movie. It's such a special one.
Oh,
So
good.
I'm looking forward to many people getting to check it out here shortly.
Well, fantastic. I'm glad that you enjoyed it. I, I,
Uh,
I have not been able to see it with an audience yet, which is a drag. I've been working both times that there was an opportunity.
where all the premieres were.
So, yeah, yeah, the curse and the blessing of working. So maybe one day
Well,
maybe I'll sneak into people's houses and listen in.
I wouldn't recommend that. What are the other projects you've been busy working on lately?
Wrapped up the Goldbergs this year. That was bittersweet. Um, there's another movie out, I think, called The All Nighter. I'm not sure what platform it's on. And there's another independent movie that I shot last year, should be coming out this year, called Ganymede. So I'm looking forward to that. Right now, it's the writer's strike, so we're not doing anything, as they say, pencil down. But I'm doing stand up. Thank goodness that's there. So check me out. Follow me online on Instagram. It's just my name. And then if nothing else, come see me do stand up.
What would you like to say then to everyone who continue to be such fans and supporters of the incredible comedic work you do?
Oh my goodness, it's an honor and a privilege, and thank you very much. I'm always reminded every time you're in front of an audience, these people made a decision to come see you, and if you can't find gratitude in that, then you're not alive. So it's I'm truly blessed, and it's not lost on me.